Plaintiffs Lee Vinnie Cook and his wife Amy Katzenberger say Lee dated the defendant, but he couldn't be happier to be married to Amy because she is the exact opposite of his ex-girlfriend. Lee claims the defendant has been in and out of jail for theft and drugs, and he's suing her today for child support, rent, and emotional distress. Defendant Katrina Tenderholt admits that she was in jail for writing bad checks and even has a history of drug use, but she insists Lee did drugs right along with her. Katrina's countersuing for emotional distress.
Start with you all.
Your Honor, first of all, I just want to say I did come here a couple of years ago before you, and I sued my ex-girlfriend, the defendant over here. And at the end of the case, you told me to don't be a sucker. And I just want to tell you I'm here today because I'm sucker-free. I just wanted to say that right off the bat.
I love it.
Basically, I have a whole new life now. I have a new wife. This is my wife, Amy, here. And today is actually our anniversary. Yeah, we celebrate our anniversary every month. Most people do it every year, but we do it every month. So she's a very lucky woman here.
How long have you all been married?
Over a year.
Okay, go ahead.
And yeah, basically, I met her. We kind of have a fairy tale relationship. Most fairy tales have a horse and carriage, but ours is a bus. Because I'm a bus driver, and that's how I met my wife here. She was a passenger on my bus. Gosh, probably about 2 or 3 months, she was riding my bus every day, and I'd just be driving the bus, and I'd be looking in the mirror, and I'd see her in my rearview mirror. I keep staring at her, and I just, yeah.
You stare at her
But I was driving the bus
while driving the bus.
at red lights. And I'd just be driving the bus, and I'd be looking in the mirror, and I'd see her in my rearview mirror. I keep staring at her, and I just, yeah.
You stare at her
But I was driving the
while
bus
driving the bus.
Defendant Katrina Tenderholt is being sued by her ex-boyfriend and his new wife, who claim Katrina has a history of drug use. But Katrina insists her ex did drugs right along with her.
Go ahead.
Well, after a couple of months, we exchanged phone numbers, and we had our first date on my bus. Actually, in the back seat of the bus, she brought me
That's enough. It's a family show.
It was a nice picnic day. She brought me Subway sandwiches. We sat in the back, had a little picnic. So
all right.
Basically, the best thing about my wife is she's the exact opposite of my ex-girlfriend, the defendant over here.
How so?
Well, my ex-girlfriend, the defendant over here, has been in and out of jail constantly for years now.
For what?
I'd have to look at it.
Violation, probation, burglary, theft, drugs, etc.
Dope fiend or something? She a dope fiend?
Crackhead?
Crackhead? Okay. You crackhead or something?
No, sir.
Have you?
I went to jail for bad checks. I never got drug charges, nothing. I did have an addiction for a while to pills. Funny thing, he wants to call me names because he did them right along with me.
That's why he tried to act like he didn't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why she
we
went
did
to
them
jail.
together. I mean, obviously, I
That
did
is
them
not
afterwards
true.
and longer. That's not true.
Your Honor, I drive
Give him a lie
city
detector
buses. They do
test.
random drug tests. I can't be taking those.
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, you
pills.
can't be
Stop
looking in the
thinking.
rearview mirror while you're driving either, but you do that. Go ahead.
I had a 3-year sentence. It took me,
Probation or an actual?
They put you on probation, and I violated. Mostly, there was a couple dirty ways, I'm not going to lie, but there was moving, things like that. They don't play with anything. So I just decided to do my time, and I went back to jail.
Okay.
So
when was the last time you were in trouble with the law?
it was when I went and remanded over. I went in January of 2010. Got out August 22nd, and I've been done ever since. There was no new violations. There was no
about
new
8
crimes.
months?
Yeah, there was no new crimes. There was no nothing since 2007 is when the case initially
What are you doing now?
came about. I have a new job. I was doing PCA work. My client passed away. I have a new job that I actually start tomorrow when I get back home.
Doing what?
So it's just at a laundromat, but it's better than nothing.
Absolutely.
So I'm moving to my own place. It's not the greatest, but it's mine.
Doesn't matter.
Yep, I have a car lined up to buy from my friend's mom when I get back. So I'm trying. I'm not.
That's right. Good luck to you in the future. Tell me why you're suing her for child support and
child
rent.
support, yes.
Tell me
in
what happened.
2007, when she was incarcerated, I went and got full custody of our son we had together.
When did you have the son?
He was born in 2005.
All right.
I was awarded full custody at that time, and A child support order was ordered at that time.
How much?
For $50 a month.
The judge knew, of course, she was incarcerated
Yes.
at that time. And that's what most judges do. They'll at least assess some type of minimal or nominal amount, even though a person is unemployed or imprisoned, because the assumption is when that person comes out of prison or does obtain employment, that they will still have that responsibility of what they failed to live up to in the past. It's because you come home and you want to get on your feet and you're on your way down the right path. That's a beautiful thing. But what about the money that this child missed?
I worked
You got to
when I
go
was
back
in jail.
and pay that too, huh?
I worked when I was in jail. I had a job and he got more than $50 a month. As soon as I got the job, I told Vinny, I said, Vinny, I got a job. What can I do? I know I don't have much. I know I owe. What can I do? Nothing. We don't want anything. Just go pay your arrears. We don't want anything
No,
from
she
you.
tried to give us her food stamp card.
I said, that's all I had.
Stamps.
What does he need? Milk? At least it's something, right?
Okay.
You know, nothing. No. But
So
then in the next sentence,
you did attempt to give a portion of the monies, the small income that you were
Absolutely.
making in prison, which is what, $1 a
no,
day,
they sent
$2
it.
a day?
No, I had a decent job in there. It was like $1.10 an hour compared to 35 cents.
I agree. And see,
And it was
that's why folks hear me talk about prison being slavery. And that's why I encourage every young adult and older adult to avoid prison, because even though you think you're out here being tough and you're out here being all this and you think you thugged out is the thing to be, you are a fool, because they're setting you up for slavery. You're setting you up for slavery. $1 an hour is one step above slavery. All right, slaves, all you all listening, you thugs, you volunteer for slavery. All right, so while you were serving as a slave, you at least paid how much?
It was like 40%, whatever
Okay.
my check was.
40% of the
They got
dollar an
more.
hour. Good
He
enough.
got more than I actually
All right.
got, you know, so.
Okay, good enough. She did
Yes, she did.
try and give something.
Yes,
So
I
that
did get a
gives-
few payments for $50 a month for a few months there when she was working while she was incarcerated.
Okay.
Yeah, this 1720 I have here,
That's a rearage statement
Yes,
from
it
the
is.
court,
yes.
because that's what I have to go by, ma'am.
Absolutely.
And they have assessed that the most recent amount owed is $1720 as of September of 10. So you owe that amount in child support.
Did have an addiction for a while to pills. Funny thing, he wants to call me names because he did them right along with me.
That's why
Yeah.
he tried to act like he didn't know. I don't know why.
Exactly. We did them together. I mean, obviously, I
That
did
is
them
not
afterwards
true.
and longer. That's not true.
Your Honor, I drive
Give him a lie
city
detector
buses that do
test.
random drug tests. I can't be taking those.
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, you
pills.
can't be
Stop
looking in the
thinking.
rearview mirror while you're driving either, but you do that.
Defendant Katrina Tenderholt is being sued by her ex-boyfriend and his new wife, who claim Katrina has a history of drug use. But Katrina insists her ex did drugs right along with her.
Let's talk about the rent that you're
Well,
suing about.
When she got out of jail in 2009, around October, she came and stayed with me. I thought it would be best for my son to see his mom after a while, after she's been incarcerated. So she stayed with me, and we had a verbal agreement. She would pay $300 a month. She was supposed to stay there for about 3 months. October, November, and December of 2009, she stayed with me. In January of 2010, like the second week of January, that's when she turned herself in and went back to prison. So when she did that, obviously there's no way for me to get my money when she went back to jail. So I was out $1,050 in rent that she said she was going to pay me. Never did.
Okay. All right. And emotional distress is for what?
My wife will handle the emotional stress part.
Ma'am?
Basically, she was yelling at me in the parking lot of my work, claiming that I was trying to be their son's mother.
She came to your place of employment
Yeah.
for that?
Yeah.
Or did she
I
just
was
happen to be there? You just happened to be there,
No,
right?
actually, they told me to meet them there to drop my son off.
Is that true?
Actually, she was supposed to be at a different location, and she
Where?
was late.
What-
That's a
what
lie.
It was
location
an ice
was-
cream shop. that
That's
we
a
were gonna
lie.
meet
Quiet.
to exchange their son.
How
and,
far was that from your place of
maybe
employment?
5-10 minutes.
Were you there?
Yes, I was.
What
Yeah.
what were you doing at her job?
Oh, we were meeting her there. She was.
You were meeting her at the job.
Oh.
We were meeting Katie over here.
At your wife's
Yes.
job. Your wife just lied and said you were supposed to meet her at the ice cream shop. All right, you
Because
better
he
be
was
quiet.
late.
You about to blow the case. Just you be quiet. Now,
I'll tell you what
wanna
happened.
Tell me about the rent and then the
Okay, I
emotional
did agree
distress.
to pay rent at first when I first moved in. However, it kind of turned into a relationship type of deal. We started, sleeping together. I took care of the house.
No.
The son.
No.
Oh,
Was she
yes.
there?
No, she wasn't around. It was
Okay.
before he met her.
Okay.
It was way before he met her. And that's fine. I have no problem with their
And
relationship.
so when you
with him.
start living together again and acting as mates or whatever.
Yeah, it kind of falls back into it. You don't say anything
Right.
after the first payment passes and the second payment passes, and he doesn't say anything because he likes what's going on over here. You know what I mean? He's cool with that until I'm gone, and here Amy comes. Oh, and what? That's what this whole case is. It's Amy, and she. I
when
swear to
was
God,
it that you lived with him?
from October of 2009 till January 2010.
9. And then when was the last time he asked for rent money?
When he filed the suit.
Is that true, sir?
Oh, I asked her in December, right around Christmas time of 2009. After
That's a
she'd
lie.
been with me
Another
for like
lie.
3 months.
Your counterclaim for emotional distress, 500. Is that what you're getting
Yes,
to?
yes.
Tell me about it.
Okay, it's
They
pretty much along
denied
that line.
visitation.
Yeah,
He does,
yeah.
rather.
She does. He doesn't say anything. I never had a child with Amy. I had a child with Vinny. But and can I just say this? From what Vinny's told me, she doesn't have custody of her own kids either. And I don't want to point fingers at anybody, but maybe you should handle your own situations before you talk about me.
I have my
know
kids.
that I
You don't
made
know anything
mistakes.
about me. You know nothing about me.
He told
You
me,
know nothing
Amy.
about me.
Excuse me.
Nothing. Absolutely.
I know I've
nothing.
made mistakes, but I'm trying. I'm not expecting them to just give me my son. I don't want that. That's what he's had. That's what he's known. He's
And we're
very well
supposed
taken
to
care of.
supervise your visitation anyway.
Does the
That's
court
true.
deny you
No, I haven't
visitation?
went.
Yes, Your Honor, they have actually.
When I was in jail,
Quiet, ma'am. You have the court order today.
I do not have that, no. But when I got full
What are
custody,
the terms?
the terms are I have full custody and she's to have supervised visitation rights.
Okay,
And,
have you granted her supervised visitation?
at first, yes, and then slowly I've been letting her take him on her own. But every time she does that, she's either late or she's not where she's supposed to be. And she's also very unstable. She's bouncing around from place to place. She doesn't have a vehicle, didn't have a job for a while. I mean, that wasn't.
So basically, you're saying if a parent of your child is poor, then they can't see the
no,
child.
that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm
Well,
saying
that's what happens to poor
much.
people. Poor people, in many instances, have to move around. Poor people who don't have good jobs, their lives are unstable. So that being the case with her, that's all you're really saying. She shouldn't be denied the right to see her child because she's poor.
We don't
So-
deny her.
Did you want to speak, ma'am?
yeah.
I'm just.
Come on, stand up.
She
What's your
lives with
name?
me.
My name is Stacy, and Katie has lived with me for the last 4 months, and her home is stable. My kids visit regularly. My roommate has kids; they stay there too. It's a
Okay.
family-friendly place. There's no reason for.
And ma'am, you did agree initially to pay $300 a month?
I did.
Defendant Katrina Tenderholt is being sued by her ex-boyfriend and his new wife, who claim Katrina has a history of drug use. But Katrina insists her ex did drugs right along with her.
You just assume, sounds like, that you didn't have to pay because you were paying
Well, I'm like,
in
he
another
knew.
way. But
Well, I wasn't paying. We were in a relationship before, and it just kind of
why
happened
didn't you
again.
mention that? You just assume you all are going to remain in a committed relationship?
No, it wasn't not.
Well, then
like
you
that.
can't assume that you were in such a relationship that would allow you to escape your own responsibilities. So
Right.
I'm going to grant his rent and his child support. And I'm going to deny your emotional distress. And I'm going to grant your emotional distress because from his own testimony, it sounds like they were playing games with your visitation rights. So that comes to what after giving her emotional distress?
2,270.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you. I want visitation. I don't want anything more than that. Right now at this point, I just want to see my son. And he wants to see me too. So
Yeah, if you can be more stable, maybe we could work something out. It's not that you're poor or anything like
I can never live
that.
up to your standards, Vinny, obviously, and they're not even yours. If they were yours, it'd be different because when they were, I could see him.
He's married now. Deal with it. That's the way it is.